All right, how we doing? Welcome back. Jake here. Um, just gonna give a quick little update on the training for the last month for this upcoming 100-mile trail run. We're less than a month away now, so just kind of looking back, I got a spreadsheet comparing 2021 to this year's training, and 2021's training, I added it up. For the same amount of time, I think it was like early April perhaps, and until race day, I had 750 miles in 2021 and a whopping 8,240 feet of elevation gain climbing. At this point in 2021, I had 590 miles and 6,400 feet of climb. The trails that I ran were around Fargo, around the rivers. They're super fun to bike. They're very technical, a lot of turns and things like that, but not a lot of climbing, and they're not anything like the Maah. I did one run out at Maplewood State Park, and went out there. It was like 10 o'clock at night and kind of ran through the night, and I got 20 miles in that day, and that was my longest run in 2021. Just a couple highlights. So year to date right now, like I said, 2021 I was at 590 miles at this point. Right now I'm at 731, and I have 27,000 feet of elevation. So I'm about 20,000 more feet of climbing, and I do a lot more on the treadmill, and I do a lot more either kind of rolling hills on the treadmill, or I'll just crank up the incline to 15 and see how quick I can get to 1,000 feet. Right away it was so hard, but now it's like, okay, I gotta try to go faster. My fastest time was like 18 and a half minutes. Lindsay's been doing it too, and I think the benefit is there. The run I did yesterday, I think it's paying off, I'll just say that. So backing up just the month of June here, a couple highlights. The 10th of June, I had the day off of work, and I went out to the Rolog Holly area where I like to run. I got 30 miles in, and we got two separate loops here run out there. There's like a north loop that's 10 miles. It's not as much climbing on there, but it's still good. It's kind of rollers. 4-mile loop that's out there. We'll do that kind of clockwise, counterclockwise, but some bigger hills, bigger climbs on the backside. And there's one big hill on the backside, and I went out there that day. I parked in the middle, and I ran back and forth on that one. It's about 1.3 mile long road, back and forth to get to 30 miles. I did it that day with no music. I think that kind of helps like the mental toughness as well, doing something like that, and then just back and forth on the same road, and then going past the pickup every time. It's like I could go home whenever I want, but I had it in my mind, I'm doing 30 miles out here, and I ended up with just over 3,000 feet of elevation that day. That was huge. I think that was just good because I also want to run the downhills well too, and I think coming off that Mount Charleston marathon, which was downhill, I trained well for that, and I feel like the training, when I started doing that marathon training, it was hard on my knees, hard on my quads, all that stuff. So I just kept kind of doing downhill on the treadmill whenever I run on the treadmill, just to keep that load on your quads there. So it's been good. When you train for hills, you got to train downhill too. Flat as a pancake here. We don't have hills, so we got to figure out a way to do it. Treadmill, like I said, crank up that incline to 15%, or just rolling hills, jogging, walking, whatever it might be. Power walking, I think, is huge too. So getting out there and getting uncomfortable a little bit. So backing up about a week ago, what is it? 6:29 today. So about a week ago, Saturday, that's right, I did 24 miles. I did 15 by myself, and then I tagged along with Lindsay for about 9. That was good. It was humid. That was kind of like my first hot run, just thinking back to that. It wasn't bad in the morning when I started, and then when I went with Lindsay, she hadn't ran yet, so she was picking up the pace, and oh man, it was fun trying to keep up with her, but it got hot towards the end there, and luckily there's spots along the way to fill up water and things like that. But that was good. And then the next day I got up, I did 12 miles. So kind of back-to-back longer-ish runs, nothing crazy, and it's flat around here, so no elevation with that one. Okay, yesterday, kind of the big run of the day, the big run of the whole training plan. I've been looking forward to this. I did 50 miles, went out to Holly, Rolog area, and the big thing for this was I wanted to really practice nutrition and get that dialed in. I went out the day before, got a bunch of things that I feel like I might want to eat. Back in 2021 when I did the 100, I feel like I was so underprepared for that run after what I did yesterday. Being a little naive in 2021 and just kind of, I didn't really have a plan, and it's like, oh, I'll just eat some of this and some of that candy and things like that to stay liquid hydration plan at that time either. So yesterday, that Solomon Active Skin 8 Best, water on one side, electrolytes on the other side. And what I did with the electrolytes now, back in my Ironman triathlon days, I would add this, it was called Carbo Load, Carbo Boost. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it was just kind of like powdered carbohydrates. Didn't add any flavor to anything, but it added calories and carbs, obviously. So adding a little extra calories to that. So my plan, so calories, about 200 to 300 calories per hour via liquid, food if I can. And then sodium, like 300 to 500 milligrams of sodium per hour, depending on how hot it gets out there during the day. At night, definitely can back off of that a little bit. Carbohydrates, I want to stick to about 60 to 100 grams of carbs each hour. And same thing, mixture of fluids, which I feel like it's going to be a lot of fluids. Gels, I am going to be taking those BPN Go gels. So yesterday, I had that BPN electrolytes. I mixed up a gallon of that, and I didn't even go through the whole thing, but we stopped a lot to fill up, especially towards the middle of the day, the end of the day when it got hotter out. So that definitely worked out well. And in between, I had that G1M Sport, and I just had that sitting in the cooler. So when I was filling up stuff, I would just drink that, chug it, sip it, whatever it might be. During the run, I think I ended up eating 5 gels throughout the run. It took me about 9 hours of total running time. Granted, I had to stop it to pick up and kind of fill up my own stuff like that. So at that time, I didn't even count that. I tried to be as quick and efficient as possible. Those peanut butter filled pretzels, I took some of those with me. Ritz crackers, I brought Ritz crackers with. There was a couple bars, I can't remember the name of the bars that Lindsay had, but I took one of those and those went down really well. The only problem is I think if they get hot, they're gonna get really melty. Those definitely would probably maybe eat that at the cooler or the checkpoint, when just take it out of the cooler and eat it. Didn't really have any candy with, no sugary candy with or anything like that, just because I want to back off that. I get enough sweet stuff with the electrolytes and all that stuff that I'll be drinking, so I definitely stayed away from the candy stuff. At mile 30-ish, 32, Lindsay met up with me and she finished the final, or it was 33 because she had 17 to go, and I stopped at 50. I boiled some water, I made mashed potatoes and ramen noodles, and I wasn't hungry for them, but I just wanted to eat them. And those mashed potatoes, they're just instant mashed potatoes, like you just rip the top off, add water, and eat. Holy smokes, that was better than just about anything I've ever put in my mouth during a run. It was so good, and that's definitely coming with. Ramen noodles was okay. Soup part, I think with the salt and stuff like that was actually maybe better than the noodles itself, but it tasted good. It felt, I probably needed more salt than I thought I actually did. But mashed potatoes, man, that is a home run. So definitely gonna load up on those. I did bring mac and cheese. I didn't make mac and cheese, but you never know. It might be something that I feel like eating out there. I brought a ton of stuff that I didn't even touch because I didn't crave it. I really wasn't hungry at all during any of the run. Didn't really feel like I did start with 10-mile loops, and I got out there at 5:30 in the morning, and I started with the 10-mile loops, and I was able to get through a 10-mile loop without finishing off my water. For 2 loops I did that, and I was good. And then when it started getting warmer, I think the first time I ran out, it was about 8 miles in, so I had 2 miles without any water. So there was a couple longer stretches, one of them early on, like almost 11 miles. I'll probably grab just some like cheap, the throwaway plastic water bottles that you buy like the big case of. Probably throw a couple of those in my pack, as well as the front bladders, just to make sure I have enough fluids for those longer stretches. But man, looking forward to the way the checkpoints are all kind of set up. Like after the first 3, they're spread out, quite a bit spread out. 7, it's like 8 miles, 9, 10 miles, something like that. So within the first 27 miles, there's only 3 spots, I guess, at the mile 27, but where I'll see my crew, and that's going to be the hottest part of the day because the race starts at noon. So I'll definitely need a little extra water with me when I go through those sections. But then after that, man, it's like 4.2, 4.7, 6, these shorter little stretches, which I'm super pumped for, because seeing my crew, that's going to get me to the end, and like that's going to be the highlight of the day. That's what I'm looking forward to, is seeing those guys, and hopefully, everything's going good for them, and that's what I'm looking forward to. I mean, all the way to the end, all the way to the finish line. I'm going to plan on having them, there's like 1 mile of pavement where it starts, and then a mile of pavement where it finishes. I'm going to have those guys kind of park at the finish line, come back, walk back up to where that pavement starts, right when you cross this bridge, and they'll finish that final mile, hopefully with me, and we'll all do it together, so it'll be fun. My overall plan, I did adjust that a little bit. I added some time. Maybe I was a little a little aggressive right off the bat there, so I did add some time. I added more time into the checkpoints just to be safe with that. Not a long time, just maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, not at each one, just to make sure I do have enough time to refuel, get what I need, and not be super rushed in there. Knowing that I have time to do that, I think that'll help. And then at the halfway point, I have a big chunk of time there because I want to change clothes, kind of give myself a little shower with dude wipes or whatever, and change clothes and just kind of get reset. Any other food I want to get at that time too. Man, after yesterday, that went so well, nutrition wise, just running wise, everything felt good. Legs felt good. I used the poles for like the final 14 miles, and it was crazy because Lindsay was still fresh. She had like 4 miles in her legs, and I started using the poles. So I had like 36, 37 miles in, and we're going up these climbs, and there's some of them are pretty steep, and I'm going past her, you know, like, and those poles are such a huge advantage, I think, for climbing when your legs are tired. You get to dig in and use your arms. So I'm not sure yet when I'm going to start using them, just because if my legs are good and fresh, I don't really need them yet, but it might help to have them, to have kind of save the legs for later on in the race too. I don't know, comment below whatever you think. Use them early and conserve the legs, or wait until you're tired and you need to use them. But all right, man, we are less than a month away. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing Nick, Mike, those guys out there. Been seeing stuff on Facebook, getting some stuff for these checkpoints and aid stations that they're going to have set up. Don't know where they're going to be, but looking forward to it. I saw a ton of pickles on there, man. All kinds of good stuff. A lot of that stuff I've been using too. Some of the other things that Mike had in his cart there the other day. I saw questions, comments, man. If you're running this race, comment below, man. Hopefully we'll see you out there. I've done a ton of races. This is by far my very favorite race. I look forward to it every single year. Every year I'm capable, I'm going to be coming back out there and running some distance, one or the other. And so I will check back in after this thing is done, and hopefully everything goes according to plan, which I know it won't because I'm realistic, but hopefully we can pivot and just kind of make the best of how it goes. So see you in about a month. We'll check back in.